If you are moving into a new house or decide to redecorate your home because your style has changed over the years, but you don't have the money to buy brand new furniture because who does in this economy, right? So what do you do instead? Well, thrift shop of course, and DIY furniture to your own style. And if you don't know where to start, you came to the right channel. Welcome back to Second Arts. My name is Agnieszka and this week I'm super excited to share a budget-friendly home decor project with you. For this project you will need only a few tools, but the results will be spectacular. I was recently looking up furniture online and found out two things. One, furniture is getting more and more expensive, and two, quality of the set furniture is getting way and way worse. And in my world, that doesn't really add up. And to be honest with you,
some of the prices shocked me.
Because who is gonna pay thousands of dollars for furniture that won't last longer than a few years? Not me. Besides, have you ever thought of the impact that buying new furniture has on the planet? The production of new furniture often requires the extraction and consumption of natural resources such as wood, minerals and water, and that can contribute to deforestation and habitat destruction. The sad truth is that we live in a culture of pursuing the latest trends and replacing items as soon as they go out of style. This mindset encourages us to get rid of perfectly functional items in favor of the latest styles, which leads to unnecessary waste. At the same time, thrift stores and marketplaces are full of vintage, high-quality furniture that are just as stylish today as they were 50 or 70 years ago. More than often, these are covered in yellow, outdated varnish or are badly painted, but that just makes them a great DIY candidate. And for this week's project, I decided to give a full makeover to this Swedish vintage cabinet that I got for free. Yep, free. Can you even believe that? It just shows how easy it is to find affordable furniture online. But now let me show you step by step how you can transform vintage furniture to fit into a modern home. This cabinet is in pretty good condition overall, but there are some damages in the veneer. Unfortunately, there were some bubbles and missing veneer, which made me a little bit sad because this cabinet would be so beautiful if kept natural with a lighter wood tone. But since that's not an option anymore, I decided to paint it in a strong color. A color with personality that matches many others and never gets outdated. But I'm curious to know, what color would you choose for this cabinet? Let me know in the comments. And now let's start working on the cabinet. I start by removing the damaged veneer with my spatula. It's very important to be careful and only take off the loose parts. And since the damaged parts were quite big, normal wood spackle wouldn't work for me. So instead I used Bondo. Bondo is a two-part putty that dries and hardens very fast, so it's important to work in small sections. What I love about Bondo is that it's easy to sand and leaves fairly smooth texture, so it's pretty easy to work with. Before I got to prepping the cabinet, I made sure to take off the doors. It will make the job way easier for me and I won't have to worry about the hardware and not painting over it. So since I'm gonna paint this piece, I don't need to sand off the old varnish, but the top started to crack a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is to use this Carbide Scraper and remove the top only, and then sand the entire piece smoothly before prepping it with some primer. As you can see, the finish comes off very easy here. And if you have a Carbide Scraper and the finish isn't coming off as smoothly as here, you should probably change the blade as it's crucial for smooth work. I changed my mind. I realized this varnish is super easy to remove, so why not just remove it all and make it way easier for me to sand it all off. So I'm actually gonna remove all of it and then sand the rest of the furniture smooth with 120 grit paper and then 340 grit paper, because once I'm gonna paint it, all this teak is actually gonna show through the paint. So you are still gonna be able to see the wood grain and the pores in the wood, but underneath the paint, which is gonna be super nice, and it's gonna look much more luxurious. While scraping off the varnish, I accidentally made a few scratches on the top of the cabinet, which I filled in with wood spackle. Once that was dry, I sanded the entire piece with 220 grit paper, which leaves the surface super smooth. Before sanding the bottom of the cabinet, I had to glue some veneer so that I wouldn't damage it even more. I recently bought Gorilla Glue, and I have to say, this is the best wood glue I have used so far. It dries fast and has a very strong grip. The dresser is all done, it's ready to get painted, and today I'm actually gonna skip priming because the wood is gonna absorb the paint very good. And there are two different ways that you can do it. You could use a spray gun, which I'm gonna use because it saves me so much time, but you could also use a paintbrush. This particular one is from Zebra and it's gonna go so smoothly, you're gonna see. Since I'm gonna paint this dresser or cabinet in a very, very dark color, I don't need to be afraid when it bleeds through or so. So what I'm gonna do is use this amazing paintbrush. Just dip into the paint like so. And apply. You're gonna see the paint is gonna level itself. And you don't have to be afraid for any bleed through or that the paint won't stick to the surface or anything like that. And like I said, I spray painted the rest of the cabinet to save some time and energy, since I have 50 other projects waiting in the garage. But in the end of the video, you will see that there is no difference at all between the part that is painted and the part that is sprayed. And like always, before applying a second coat of paint, I scalp sanded the cabinet with 320 grit paper. And if you paint your furniture with a paintbrush and the paint is a bit thick, just spray the surface with water. That way the paint will be easy to apply and you won't have any brush strokes. And just like before, I spray painted the rest of the body. And that's how we transform this Swedish vintage cabinet to this beautiful black modern cabinet. You can see the wood grain underneath the paint, which gives it a very luxurious look. At the same time, this cabinet offers a lot of storage, both for books and documents and whatever you would like to keep in it. But the question is, can you guess how much this flip cost me in total? Let me know your guess in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, remember to like and subscribe and share it with someone who you know would love to flip their own furniture.